Formula One, a sport that spans hearts, minds and nations, where the 20 best drivers in the world come together to take on some of the world's most historic circuits. And that legacy continues today. The 2021 championship was thrilling from start to finish, and 2022 is set to be even better. New regulations will usher in an age of pioneering changes. New driving talent alongside returning champions will be dueling it out to the bitter end. The pressure will be on the team principals in the upcoming season as they manage their drivers, their cars and the whole team to push to victory. This is not a challenge for the faint-hearted. This is Formula One. Mercedes returned to F1 in 2010, and since 2014 they've won the Constructors' Championships back-to-back every year. In 2021 they took home the Constructors' Championship once more, although they narrowly missed out on the Drivers' Championship, coming in second. Heading into 2022, Mercedes will insist on dominating the competition. Nothing less than the fastest car and the most wins will give the Silver Arrows the outcome they want to see at the end of this new... The Red Bull team burst onto the F1 scene in 2005, and ever since 2009, they've been one of the top 3 teams in the championship. Last season ended brilliantly for them. Max Verstappen won the prestigious Drivers' Championship. Ferrari have entered Formula One every year since the World Championship began back in 1950. They still hold the most championship titles of any team. The team had a solid season. McLaren are a cornerstone of F1. Having been part of the sport since 1966 and winning numerous drivers and constructors' championships over the years. Last season they came a respectable 4th overall, with Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris securing the only 1-2. Alpine was a new name in 2021, bringing F1 drivers Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon back into the spotlight. Alpine finished the 2021 season in 5th place in the constructors' standings, with their first race win secured by Ocon at the Hungarian Grand Prix. AlphaTauri have been a name in Formula One since 2020. They're renowned for being the proving ground for talented new F1 drivers. Last season they ended in 6th overall. Driver Pierre Gasly also earned them an impressive podium finish in Baku. 2021 was Aston Martin's first full season in Formula One. They roared onto the scene with Sebastian Vettel, the legendary 4-time world champion, in one of those coveted driving seats. Despite some teething problems in testing, Williams is a legendary name in F1, winning 9 Constructors' Championships in their heyday. The Williams family sold the team in 2020, and the 2021 season saw them fighting well from start to end. Alfa Romeo boast an impressive Formula One history, dating right back to 1950 when they won the very first Drivers' World Championship. However, 2021 saw them finish in 9th overall, with no podium finishes to their name. Haas joined F1 back in 2016, and they've had a good start to their team career, peaking at 5th place in 2018. Last season they finished 10th, but they spent a lot of time and focus on designing their car for 2022 and strategizing for the future. Going into the 2022 season, Haas hope to have a strong car designer.
Hi there. Nice to meet you. I'm Audrey Menser, one of the team's senior engineers. Welcome to the team. It's great to have you on board. We have a strong driver lineup here at McLaren and a great team behind the scenes. And we're all feeling optimistic for this upcoming season. Let's not waste any time getting you settled in. As our new team principal, you're responsible for a lot of aspects of the team. Everything from managing our team's growth, overseeing our finances, and deciding on race day strategies will be in your hands. You can keep an eye on most things from your dashboard here. I can take you through it now. First up, an overview of the board. They're the ones who set the expectations for the team. If they're confident in your leadership, you'll be fine. If they lose confidence in you, however, they might look to replace you. The board sets season objectives for the team to achieve. Reaching them will help keep confidence high, so be sure to familiarise yourself with what's expected. You'll want to keep an eye on the long-term objective for beyond this season as well. Okay then, let's look ahead to the race weekend. We need to start preparing for the next Grand Prix, which will be the first of the season. As it's your first day though, there's nothing urgent for you to address. Feel free to explore more, or you can select continue and sign off for the day. Once you do, time will pass, but don't worry about missing anything. You'll automatically sign back in if an important event comes up. This is your calendar for the month. Pay attention to the events that have been marked. The race weekends have already been added for you. More events will get added as the season progresses. This is where you'll carry out your final preparations for the next race. We'll come back here later. One of my favourite places. This is where the car builds happen, and where we develop and store our car parts. Throughout the season, you'll want to make sure the team are working on upgrading components and that both cars are being kept in good repair. You can also use car analysis to compare our car builds to other teams. Every team will continuously develop their cars over the season, so it's important you keep an eye on them. You can compare our team cars against any other team here, or even against an average of all teams. If you want to drill down even further, you can compare performance of specific car parts too. This is where you'll find relevant information on the team's drivers and reserve driver, including their performance ratings and contract details. You can also scout for new drivers to make sure we have the best driver pairing we can. It's not just the fastest car that makes a team the best in F1. It's the people doing the hard work behind the scenes. Manage your staff from here, from department heads to your pit crew, and keep up to date on their performance. From here, you can see all the team's facilities, from the staff buildings to the car part development centres. You can build new facilities or, if the team has the time and money, upgrade our existing ones. Facilities affect all areas of our team's performance. Over time, facilities will degrade and become less effective, so keep an eye on their condition. When this happens, we'll need to look at refurbishing or even upgrading that facility to get back to maximum efficiency. Don't forget to check in with the board often. You can monitor board confidence levels, your available budget, and your progress towards a greater team rating from here. Here, you can delve deeper into team finances and see our balance, as well as understanding information on income and rewards, and the enforced spending caps we have to abide by. It's no longer your first day. We'll have you on top of things in no time. You'll continue moving through days this way until it's time for the race, which you can see in the upcoming events list. It's good to get in the habit of regularly checking that list. Let's take a look at what needs doing today. You have an alert in the top corner. There's an important email awaiting a response, so you should check your inbox when you're ready. Looks like you've received a budget approval request. Most of the team's budget is decided by the board at the start of the season, plus whatever we get from last season's prize money and any extra sponsorship revenue we earn. I reckon that's a good decision. It should keep the team in high spirits anyway. Now that's dealt with, we can focus on our first Grand Prix of the season. The race weekend is still a few days away, so move forward when you're ready. There's always some final work to do before we can set off. Check your inbox for the race prep report on this weekend's circuit. Okay, you want to get started with a design project. These are car parts we can design and manufacture in-house. Each car part impacts different areas of a car's performance, but certain car parts will have a greater impact than others. You can also view our car performance by rank on grid. This is a useful comparison tool and lets you see how our performance compares to that of all the other cars on the grid. Take a look over the different car parts. The highlights indicate which performance areas they impact the most. Pick one that impacts the ratings you want to improve. The team's expertise in making new car parts improves with experience, so each new design is likely to be better than an older one. Just make sure to check the new design against the one currently installed. Testing is also an important step in designing a new car part. Our testing time is limited throughout the season, and it's up to you to decide how much to commit to each design project. If you assign some testing time to this design now, you can see what effect it will have on the car part. Once you've taken a look, let's continue. You can direct the engineering team to focus on specific areas of performance. F1 car parts are complex, and sometimes you'll have to sacrifice performance in one area to achieve gains in another. Over the season, we'll understand more about our car's performance, which will help you to guide the team's design focus. You can try altering the focus now if you like, or else stick with a balanced approach. When you're ready, continue with the process. As a final step before the team gets started on this design project, you need to decide how many engineers you want working on it. You should also decide what approach they should take. Bear in mind, these decisions will have an impact on the duration and cost of the project. When you're happy with everything, confirm the project and the team will get started. Nice work. That's the project started. If you check your calendar, you'll see the team have given you a delivery date for the design. Once it's complete, you'll be able to manufacture that part anytime. Continually designing new car parts is imperative to improving our team's performance and staying competitive on the track. Check out the car analysis area regularly to see how our cars compare to others on the grid. This is your race preparation area, where you'll get the team ready for the upcoming race weekend. You can also find all the information you need on the circuit we're racing on here. One thing you'll always need to do before each race weekend is setting our performance targets. These help us generate more potential rewards for the team. Okay, you have all the information you should need. Let's head to race preparation to see if there's any remaining tasks for us to complete. This is your race preparation area. One thing you'll always... Here we've got the performance targets for this coming weekend. If we meet these, we'll gain extra revenue. Looks like we've got incentives for both the qualifying session and the race. If we can reach those targets, we'll get an additional payout, and it won't cost the team anything if we don't meet them. You can also decide to add targets here and offer our sponsors guarantees. These are a risk, as we face a potential financial loss if we don't meet them. But if we do, we'll gain a much larger reward. Okay. If you want to offer a guarantee for this weekend and raise the team's potential rewards, now is your chance. That feels like something we can achieve without too much difficulty. The reward if we meet the guarantee is good, and the potential loss doesn't seem too bad either. Okay, we're done here. Let's head back. You've done everything needed, and the team can't wait to get started. It's time for the first race of the season. You can take some more time to look around if you like. When you're ready, let's get this show on the road.
Welcome to the archipelago of Formula One. Bahrain might have a small land footprint, but it's showing its big spirit right now in the grandstands. Either way, it's time for another fantastic weekend of Grand Prix racing. The Bahrain International Circuit is a challenging track, and the cars routinely have to brake from high gear to low to take the narrow turns. With the need for downhill braking, the risk of locking up is one drivers will need to manage. It's all about focus and balance to get victory here. We might still be early in the season, but that doesn't mean we can sit back and relax. Everything is up for grabs, and nothing is certain at this stage. Okay then, let's get to it.
Great to see you again. Welcome to your first race weekend with the team. It's Friday, so we're kicking off with free practice 1 as usual. Over here is our race preparation area. This is where you can make any changes you need ahead of the upcoming practice session. Rest assured the team have already prepared the cars for practice. When you're ready, we can continue to the practice session. During race weekends, you can decide whether you want to manage the practice sessions yourself or whether to hand over control to your team. As it's your first race weekend, you should let the team handle the practice sessions.
Today has already seen the culmination of practice, so we move on now to the all-important qualifying session. There's very little time to relax because each and every driver will need to bring their A-game to the track for qualifying. They'll need to push themselves to the limit if they're to be challenging for a strong grid position. You simply never know what you'll see come qualifying. There's not much left to say, so let's get into it.
To help maximise our drivers' performance, the team have them work on 3 goals during practice: track acclimatisation, car parts knowledge, and setup confidence. If you manage the session yourself, you might get an even better performance from the drivers for the rest of the weekend. Right, time for qualifying. Our results here will determine where we start on the grid for Sunday's race. Qualifying takes place over 3 knockout rounds, and only the fastest drivers will advance each time. Same as practice, the team can handle qualifying for you if you like. Let's get you hands-on for this round though, just to make sure you're feeling confident before race day kicks off. Our drivers need to be setting their fastest possible lap times, so we can advance to the next round of qualifying. The slowest 5 cars will be knocked out. Keep a careful eye on time remaining. The time limit on qualifying rounds really ramps up the pressure. Right then, let's get a car out on the track for its first run and see how it goes. Each car is fitted with a number of onboard cameras, so you can see the action as it happens. You can also use the map view if you like. It gives you a good overview of the whole track and all the cars. Remember, you're managing 2 drivers throughout the session, so make sure to keep an eye on both of them. From the data view, you can see live data from the current session. Here we can see the latest lap and sector times for all drivers and an overview of their tyre conditions. Here you can also view how the current session could affect the drivers' and constructors' championship standings. There's plenty more to dive into with the data view, so make sure you spend some time exploring. That's a decent time for a flying lap. Keep an eye on the standings throughout the session and try and keep the drivers out of the knockout zone. Right then, that qualifying run is done, so the driver will return to the pits now. I know everything happens so fast over a race weekend, but if you need to catch your breath, you can pause for as long as you like. Or, if things aren't moving fast enough for you, you can speed up a little. Our driver is back in the pits. You need to reconfigure the car before we can send them back out. Let's go and take a look. The team will make sure the run plan is updated to include refueling. So all you have to do is fit some fresh tyres. Here you can see all the tyre compounds available this weekend. When making any changes, just be sure you're considering both the condition and the compound of the selected tyre. We want maximum performance during qualifying, so let's use a fresh, soft compound tyre. Soft tyres are the fastest in dry conditions. Confirm the configuration with the team when you're happy. Brilliant. The car's ready to head back out at your say-so. It's probably best to do at least one more run before the end of the round. Unless you're feeling very confident about our time so far. The track will have more grip later in the round, but there will also be more traffic. It's up to you to decide when you want to send the car out. Whatever gets us through to Q2.
London Pilling.
Understood. So Daniel, the session has now finished.
We're through to Q2. Great work. In Q2, the fastest 15 cars from Q1 battle it out for only 10 places in Q3. Now let's push even harder for a place in Q3. It's up to you whether you manage the rest of the qualifying rounds. If you want, you can let the team take control, so you can focus on the upcoming race.
Daniel, radio check.
Yep, radio is good, drink's good.
Sessions should be starting now.
Managing pace will help you manage a car's tyre temperature and wear. Keep an eye on the tyre condition of both cars. Over time, tyre condition will fall, reducing their grip and performance, eventually leading to tyre failures and car retirement. Fuel commands allow drivers to manage their car's fuel consumption. Just keep an eye on your remaining fuel. If we run out, the car will be forced to retire. If a driver needs an additional performance push for a short time, they can adjust their ERS strategies and use any battery charge they have. There are 3 ERS strategies that deploy more energy than they harvest, but each use that energy for a different purpose. Overtake and defend are best for getting ahead of cars or for keeping them behind you. Deploy is the fastest strategy available. Harvest will prioritise charging up the battery instead of using energy for performance. Neutral will maintain the current battery charge over a lap, which gives a nice balance of energy deployment and harvesting.
Let's see what pace you can do.
Understood.
Okay, keep looking after the tyre.
Yep, understood.
Recharge on.
Okay.
Race day has arrived and the time has come for these drivers to fight it out wheel to wheel.
McLaren did well during qualifying. They maximized their potential and are in a good position for the race today. We saw a reasonably good qualifying performance from Ferrari, and they certainly have a good chance to capitalize during the race. The sky tonight is mostly clear, with only a few clouds. Nothing to worry about for now, but let's see how the situation unfolds.
And there's going to be a lot for the teams to handle. So will the drivers and their cars be able to cope with the pressure? Let's find out right here at the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Right then, time for the main event, the Bahrain Grand Prix. This is a great time for us to get some early points under our belt. So let's stay focused and push hard. Each driver will need to make at least one pit stop to fit new tyres. On average, a pit stop will cost a driver about 25 seconds. So we need to think carefully about when to pit and why. Let's set a tyre strategy for our drivers now. We need to make sure we have a good plan for when we want the cars to pit. Every race weekend, the team will prepare some recommended strategies to choose from. Let's see what they suggest for this race. Okay, strategy A is a fast but risky option, relying on 2 soft stints and no hard compound at all. Strategy B is a well-balanced option, 2 soft stints and a nice long middle stint on a hard compound. Right. Strategy C is a slower but safe option for this track. We'll tackle the final stint on a medium compound instead of a soft tyre. If you think a different approach could work, you can make changes to any of the team strategies or even create one from scratch. We can always adapt our strategy during the race, so we can respond quickly to changing conditions and stay ahead of the pack. You should consider picking a different strategy for each driver. This gives us a chance to take advantage of in-race events and means we won't have both cars pitting on the same lap. That's both drivers with a set strategy in place. Right, let's head back to the preparation area and get this race started.
With the skies mostly clear, tonight's race shouldn't hold any unpleasant surprises. And there is Lando Norris. They'll be starting the race from the bottom half of the grid, so there's a fair bit of ground to make up. And behind them, it's Ricciardo. They're in the back half of the pack, so they'll need to work hard if they want a podium finish. Everything's been building to this. Here we go with the Bahrain Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
It's looking good. Use the overtake button.
Roger.
During the race, you can use the strategy view to check on each driver's strategy and adjust them if need be. You can also check the strategy graphs to see how a car's tyre wear is matching up to the team's expectations. You can also use the car and track tabs to view more details about them. The car tab shows you current and projected component condition and fuel loads, while the track tab has more information about weather and track grip.
button.
Confirm.
Nicely done, Daniel, nicely done.
Let's have a look. Now look at this. Daniel Ricciardo involved here. A bold move indeed. And with that, they've gained a position. The team watching on and clearly loving that.
The recharge on is good.
Okay, understood.
Can we have recharge on, please?
Okay, use deploy.
Yep, understood.
That's a good overtake from Alpine.
Recharge off, please.
Yeah, confirm.
Nice job, mate. Nice job.
McLaren gain a position.
As the race progresses, remember to keep an eye on the planned strategy you put in place before the race. The strategy view will let you check your strategy, adjust it, or even change it entirely. The data view is also an important area to track during the race. It gives you a deep dive into race data, including lap times for all the team's drivers.
Alpine just advanced.
Nice overtake.
Yeah, confirmed.
Okay, mate, nice work.
And McLaren with a great overtake. Let's see what happened there. Watch this, we're looking at Lando Norris. And they get past, which moves them up a position. That was a big moment. The team are clearly delighted. A new race position for Haas. McLaren gain a position. We can take a look now. Now just take a look at the McLaren. A bold move indeed, and with that, they've gained a position. I think it's safe to say that went down well with the team.
Overtake available if needed.
Yeah, fine.
Use the overtake button.
Okay, understood.
Yeah, that was a good job.
And McLaren with a great overtake.
Good job.
Yep, this is my pace.
And just recharge off whenever's good.
Yeah, confirm.
Okay, recharge on.
Understood.
Haas with an overtake.
Big lifts.
Yeah, confirm.
Looks like that was a position gained for Alfa Romeo. Who's that just crashed? Let's take a look at the replay. Okay, so there we have the Alpine. And there's the collision. It's caused absolute carnage. And the team had such high hopes today. What a shame.
Virtual safety car, virtual safety car.
Understood.
Right, let's talk tyres. During dry races, all cars need to use at least 2 different tyre compounds. If a car doesn't comply with this rule, it will be disqualified from the race. Ultimately, it's your decision on which tyre compounds we go for. Although I'd strongly recommend sticking to the starting strategy when possible. You can see the estimated lap lifetime for each tyre when you focus on them. Once you've decided which tyre to move to, just confirm the pit stop with the team.
So recharge on.
Yeah, all good.
And save fuel from now, please. Save fuel from now.
I'm happy.
Okay, keep looking after the tyre.
Okay.
Just be careful with this tyre.
Yeah.
Maximum pace.
Okay. Yeah, Compton.
Let's take a closer look. Now let's look at this, the focus on Tsunoda. They spun the car! What a disaster! The team are devastated. They'll be questioning just what happened out there.
Use to deploy.
Okay.
DRS enabled.
Okay, Daniel, recharge on.
Okay.
McLaren gain a position. Let's have a look. Now just take a look at the McLaren. And there they go, moving up a position in the pack. The drivers' team there cheering them on. It's a race position gained for Mercedes. And McLaren with a great overtake. It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
Okay, our driver has just entered the pit window. The pit window encompasses the laps that cover the planned pit stops in your strategy. This means it's nearly time to call the planned pit stop. Unless you think there's a reason to pit immediately, I always recommend sticking to the strategy and pitting on the optimal lap. As the cars spend more time on track, make sure you keep an eye on their condition. This all looks great. No damage that I can see to any components. Just make sure to keep an eye on car condition as the race progresses.
100% pace, 100% pace.
Confirmed.
Okay to push.
Understood.
Sounds like someone's locked up. Let's see what happened there. Now let's watch this. The Alfa Romeo involved in this one. Oh, and there's the lockup. That's the last thing they'll have wanted. Mercedes moved up a place.
And box a slap.
Yeah, confirm. Happy to box at the end.
Just be careful with this tyre.
Cool.
Is that a lockup? We can take a look now. Now look at this. It was the AlphaTauri driver involved. And this, yes, there, that's the lockup. No! That's going to be a big blow to the team. Will they be able to recover? We'll see.
This is really good.
And McLaren with a great overtake. Here's the replay. Watch this, we're looking at Lando Norris. Moving up a place there, excellent work from them. Back in the garage, the team absolutely loved it. That's a good overtake from Alpine. Was that a lock-up on the track? Let's take a look at the replay. Right, watch this. There's Schumacher. And yes, that's the lock-up. McLaren gain a position.
We've boxed this lap. Okay, box confirmed.
AlphaTauri gained a place. And McLaren with a great overtake. Looks like there's been a lockup. Let's take a closer look. So let's look at this. There's Sergio Perez. It's a lockup, and that could be costly. And that was a bitter blow for the team, and it may have really hurt their overall chances. That's a position gained for AlphaTauri. McLaren gain a position. Let's see what happened there. Now look at this. It's Pierre. Seems to have been a lockup. Here's the replay. Now let's have a look. It's Lance Stroll. They've locked up, but that could have been much worse.
Front tyres struggling along. Still okay with the struggling.
Okay, understood.
Can we change tyres?
Alfa Romeo just moved up a place. And McLaren with a great overtake. A position gained for Alfa Romeo. Looks like that was a position gained for Alfa Romeo. Alpine just advanced. McLaren gain a position. Someone's run wide. We can take a look now. All eyes on Kevin Magnussen here. They're forced wide and they won't be happy at all about that. The team are really... That's a good overtake from Alpine.
Virtual safety car deployed.
Yellow's ahead.
Okay.
Who's running wide there? Let's take a look at the replay. Now we see Valtteri Bottas. Oh dear, dear, dear. That's far wider than they would have wanted. And the team had such high hopes. Sounds like someone's locked up.
DRS enabled, DRS.
A position gained for Alfa Romeo.
Okay, so fronts are taking a bit of a beating.
Copy.
So I need to look after these tyres.
Let's see what pace you can do.
Okay.
Let's try and push up.
Okay, cheers.
Use the overtake button.
Understood.
Good job. Let's keep going.
This is the last lap.
Alfa Romeo just moved up a place. That's Leclerc. Charles Leclerc is today's winner. Let's have a look. Charles Leclerc there, taking home the win.
Just an incredible demonstration of why they belong in Formula One.
And McLaren with a great overtake.
Okay, that's the checkered flag. Well done.
I think you did something good with the strategy.
Great job, mate. Great job.
That's the checkered flag.
Well done, guys.
it's been a pretty positive weekend. I'm happy with the progress we've made.
For the in-lap, can I have...
Lando Norris can be proud. What a fantastic performance from him. McLaren have shown some serious chops here. A good result for the team from Surrey.
Yep, they managed to bring everything together. Strategy, engineering and driving. They've had a very strong weekend indeed.
That's right, and they finished the race weekend in third place in the constructor standings.
The teams now look ahead to the next round, where they'll duel it out in the sand dunes of Saudi Arabia.
The team's drivers gain experience over each race weekend, depending on their performance. With enough experience, your drivers will be able to improve their skills. That was a great opening weekend for our team. The board and our sponsors are pleased, and we've earned some extra money for our performance. You can see their response in more detail from the board menu. Take a look at what you can be doing before the next race weekend gets here. Our time is precious, and these moments between races are a good point to develop our team further. You should have an email from the engineering team over in the warehouse. Check it out. It might be something interesting.